Welcome back to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. Oh, how great it is to be back on the show. Of course, as you all know, I am Biro, your host. Oh, man. Man, is it good to be back. If you haven't already, definitely fill out some picks. We got week 9, pick 'em. See how you do against Biro. I don't have previous week's tallies or totals, but we'll get those figured out. And don't forget, we are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Oh. Corbin, it's great to see you, man. I miss you, buddy. Now that I don't see you every day at work. But, real quick, don't forget, Evo Retro, great company. Don't have the hoodie on right now. Don't have the steering wheel by me. Still kind of situating things. As you can see, I kind of have a plain background now. Random bookcase. Yeah, we'll get it all situated as the weeks move on. But Evo Retro, great company. Funko Pop protectors, gaming accessories, you name it, they have it. So first off, let's just start with the most obvious thing. Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves for beating the Houston Astros in 6 games. Just everyone wanted it, and it finally happened. So good job. They earned it. They faced so much adversity this year, with Acuna getting injured in July and pretty much ending his season. But man, was it a roller coaster for them to get back into the playoffs, let alone win the World Series for the first time since 1995. Which feels weird to say, but it's true. Man, is it just weird. So, in the world of sports, we got Aaron Rodgers being pretty much disqualified for this week and being in coronavirus quarantine. This week, we got the Cowboys versus Broncos. Dak will play this week, unlike last week, which was random. But another very interesting choice this week was the college football playoffs rankings. So, and it was very slow to ponder just saying rankings, but the college football playoff rankings, never the same as the AP poll or the coaches poll. But here it is. College football playoffs. You got Georgia number 1, Alabama number 2, Michigan State 3, Oregon 4, Ohio State 5, Cincinnati 6, Michigan 7, Oklahoma 8, Wake Forest 9. We're going to stop at, well, let's get Notre Dame at 10 as well. Notre Dame, interesting choice just for Cincinnati to be ranked so low. You look at Oregon above Ohio State because they beat Ohio State, literally the only reason why they're probably there. Michigan State because they beat a good Michigan team, that's 7. And Alabama lost to Texas A&M, who's 14. But SEC, they get their favoritism normally. Not saying they're bad, they're not good. Georgia's really good. Bama's doing pretty well for themselves. But I'm looking at all this, and I'm wondering why Cincinnati's so low. In the AP poll, in the coaches poll, Cincinnati's 2. Oklahoma is 4. Bama's 3, but I question Bama being 3 even. Ohio State's ranked above Oregon even. And my issue with the Alabama ranking, they lost to Texas A&M. Yes, it was last second field goal. But they play Auburn, who's the only ranked team they play left. They play LSU, Arkansas, New Mexico State, because SEC randomly plays a terrible team towards the end of the year. I'm looking at this top 25, the rest of the way down. Don't see Florida. Don't see Miami. Ole Miss is there. But besides Ole Miss, all the ranked or good wins for Bama aren't there. They're just not there. And I think, like, as much as Bama probably deserves to be considered, a 2 is a little high. I don't think they're a 2 ranking. And I think Cincinnati being 6th is a slap in the face. Because if you don't include Cincinnati this year, and Cincinnati's doing everything that is literally asked of them. They played out of conference. They played big schools. Sure, they play Miami of Ohio. Okay. But Miami of Ohio is better than New Mexico State that Bama is going to be playing. Oh. Looking at this, though, I see they did play Murray State because it's Murray State. I mean, there's your okay. But Bama also played Mercer. There's the comparison there. They're about the same to me. Then you got Indiana, who's underperformed this year. Notre Dame, who's top 10. I look at Alabama's schedule. They still have them ranked, but no one is ranked between Miami and Florida. Ole Miss is the only team that's still ranked. They can play Auburn, but they have a history of losing to Auburn in seasons like this. And the other slap, I'll just be honest, the other slap in the face besides Cincinnati has to be Oklahoma. Oklahoma's in at 8. They didn't, I suppose you could say they didn't really play anyone. Tulane, Western Carolina, Nebraska, West Virginia, Kansas State, Texas, who's off and on good. TCU can't. Come on. Baylor's a ranked team this week. Iowa State's not next, but they could be. They're a team that's in and out. And then, of course, Oklahoma State, who's good. But I'm digress. So, Oklahoma's lowly ranked because they didn't play anybody. Quote, unquote. The other unbeaten team that's in the college football rankings, because they did leave one undefeated team out, and I'll get to them in a sec. Wake Forest. Wake Forest, you want to talk about not playing anybody. Ugh. Old Dominion, Norfolk State, Florida State, Virginia, who was okay at one point, Louisville, Syracuse, Army, Duke. They play UNC. They play a ranked North Carolina State, potentially, as long as they keep winning. Clemson, who was once ranked and now not. And Boston College. Could be very good, could be very bad. But Wake Forest doing what they don't normally do, and that's win in football. The next 10, you got, of course, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Auburn, Texas A&M, BYU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Kentucky, NC State, and Minnesota. Still, there's a lot of SEC bias, but there's also a lot of Big Ten bias, because as soon as we go 21 through 25, you see Wisconsin, Iowa, Fresno State, San Diego State, and Pittsburgh. Now, I did say there was one other undefeated team. And they're not even ranked in the college football playoffs. They're ranked 16 and 18 in the coaches poll. And that is the Texas San Antonio Roadrunners. So, they beat Illinois. Okay, Illinois is not very good. Destroyed Lamar, FCS team. I want to say that's Middle Tennessee. Yep, Middle Tennessee State. They beat Memphis. They beat UNLV. They beat Western Kentucky. Beat Rice. Beat Louisiana Tech. But now they got to also beat UTEP, Southern Miss, Alabama, Birmingham, and North Texas. And they probably have a team that can do it, that can actually run the table, get no consideration, and I guarantee they won't. They don't really play anybody, let's be honest. Illinois was supposed to be their big play, and it didn't pan out. But I look at the AP, the coaches poll, and then I look at the college football playoffs. Besides Cincinnati, there's like no one ranked in the college football playoff poll. Yeah, you got Fresno. Yeah, you got San Diego State. But they're at the bottom. They're not really in the other ones even. Like San Diego State, come on, man. They're just not a team that are considered to be ranked even. And they're not in the coaches or AP, but they are for the college football playoffs. And they lost to Fresno State. Wow. Fresno lost to Oregon by a touchdown. They also lost to Hawaii by a field goal. It's all very interesting, man. It is always interesting. We're going to look at standings real quick, not mentioning the standings, only because this is more curiosity than anything. Yeah, so in the Mountain West, the two good teams, quote unquote, are both in the Mountain West West. In the Mountain Division, Utah State is leading the way. But let's mention two other teams just because you see the Fresno State, you see the San Diego State. Coastal Carolina has been ranked all year. Yeah, they lost to Appalachian State by a field goal. But, you know, they play to win. They're pretty damn good. And then you also see Louisiana in the AP and coaches poll. Louisiana, very dang good. Yeah, they lost to Texas right away, 38-18. But then they beat Nichols, they beat Ohio, they beat Georgia Southern, South Alabama, Appalachia. They beat teams they should beat. That'll probably be the showdown. I could see it being Louisiana versus Coastal, but Appalachian State holds the keys right now. But I know a lot of you out there are waiting patiently to hear about these NFL picks. So let's get into the NFL picks. Why not? So, one last time because, you know, they are pretty much the only sponsor. Evo Retro, I mean, they got Funko Pop protectors, they got game protectors, they got gaming merchandise, their own merchandise, they got accessories like controllers. Like, if I wanted to get some more controllers for my old systems, I would definitely give Evo Retro a look. Reasonably priced, great items, can't go wrong. So, NFL picks. Yes, they're back on paper. Tonight, game starts in a few minutes. Got the Colts over the Jets. Your 1 o'clock games. I got the Bengals over the Browns, Cowboys over the Broncos, Dolphins over the Texans, Saints over the Falcons. A lot of home games right there. But let's get into the rest of the 1 o'clocks. Raiders over the Giants. Patriots over the Panthers. Bills over the Jaguars. Now, the Panthers and Patriots could go either way. Do I expect Christian McCaffrey to play? No. But in my fantasy, yes. Minnesota at Baltimore. I have Baltimore. Fresh off a bye. I think Baltimore's got that. Your 4 o'clock games, there's 3. Chargers over the Eagles. Kansas City over Green Bay. I just don't see Jordan Love doing well. Yeah, Kansas City's been struggling. And it's all Mahomes, really. But the other last 4 o'clock game, I think the Cardinals beat the 49ers easy. Rams over the Titans. Titans losing Derrick Henry for the year. And your Monday night, Bears, Steelers. I'm going Bears. I really think we had a shot last week to win. This is another game I think is winnable for the Bears. So I'm going Bears. Ugh. Normally I would say 7:30. Hey, it's time. But man, I started late. Still getting used to new job, new home. For those that didn't know, having an episode at my old job where I pretty much passed out. Probably the scariest thing ever in my life. But hopefully getting that taken care of. Some life changes in general. But I think it's all for the better. Hopefully next week we can be on time at 7. Right here, Thursday nights for Biro Sports Talk. It's great to be back. I appreciate everyone who tuned in or will watch this or whatever you plan on doing. Because like I said, I appreciate it, and I will see you all next time.